Democrats today deliberately fueling racial inequality across the country for political gain. That's the question. Back in 2008, boosted by then presidential hopeful Barack Obama's message of hope and change, nearly half the voters felt race relations would improve in the next few years. As you see, but today, halfway into the president's second term, 6 years in, optimism disappeared. Nearly 40% of voters feel race relations have gotten worse. Did playing the race card doom the Democratic Party, or did they do it at all? Let's ask Pulitzer Prize-winning writer, New York Post columnist. You used to write for the New York Times too, right?
I graduated.
Fox News contributor Michael Goodwin. Michael, welcome back.
Thank you, Brian.
This was the subject of your column today. You said you were struck by the fact that things have gotten worse. You never thought that was going to be the case.
Well, when you look at those polls that you cited, and there are a number of them, and they all show basically the same thing. 2 to 1, people think race relations under President Obama have gotten worse instead of better. So you have 35, 40, 46 in one poll saying things are worse, and as few as 18% in some polls saying things are better. So it's really a landslide in one direction in every poll.
Well, do you think it's because of horrific incidents like the Trayvon Martin thing and the Ferguson thing and the president's response? For example, President Bush took a hit on race relations after Katrina because so many African Americans were affected because those lower level neighborhoods were the ones flooded first.
Right. Look, I think that it's very hard to pin everything on the president. But this president, of course, is unique in history, the first black president in the United States. And I think there was a sense, you go back to the polls in the beginning, they're the exact opposite of what they are now. People thought by 2, 3 to 1 that things would get better under the first black president. They haven't. And so there are lots of reasons along the way. I mean, it's obviously a very deep and difficult problem historically in this country. But I think Eric Holder is one part of the answer. Eric Holder has been what I would consider a real race man. He has focused on race almost to the exclusion of a lot of other things. So you have him in Ferguson out there saying the whole police department is guilty of bias. Before there's an investigation, you have Trayvon Martin, the same situation where it turns out the Justice Department was helping to fund demonstrations led by Al Sharpton. And of course, Sharpton, who shows up all the time at the White House, who's with Holder everywhere. And I opened the column with a piece about New York City, the police department, where a new deputy to the commission was hired. It was absolutely a quota. It had to be a black man. I mean, that's what it's come to in the 6th year of the Obama presidency.
But when the grand jury comes out with it to indict this officer or not, that's going to be another key, how the president reacts, because we've got plenty of warning. If this officer is not indicted, there's going to be a lot. Could be a lot of unrest.
Right, and I think that it's always a mistake to take a single case and make it a national issue. I mean, law and order matters turn on very fine things. I mean, what the grand jury decides should not become cause for national soul searching because it's one case, it particular under Missouri law or under the grand jury, under the evidence about. So, but I think one of the problems in the Obama era is these single cases become huge national issues. I think that's an unfair burden to put on any one community.
All right, Michael Goodwin, thanks so much. That was the subject of your column, and I appreciate you coming in here. All right.